if you want to grow and operate your coaching business to the best of your ability, you need big goals that stretch you, and more importantly, big goals that force you to look at what you're currently doing and kill the things that are holding you back. So I've just got done with a big coaching day here, and had probably just done about 4 or 5 hours worth of coaching on Zoom. And the last call that I just had here was with a long-term client of mine. And we've worked together for a while now. And her problem, now she's done great. She's worked her way up to making 9K a month. She's doing really, really well. But the one thing that's been holding her back has been decisiveness, or always feeling like she needs to kind of go backwards and rework her offer, rework her the ideas that are within her brand and everything else, and the decisiveness around this, because there was always a lot of options on who she could work with, how she could serve them, and everything else. And every week, every week's a bit of an exaggeration, but quite frequently, a new question could arise and a new thing to kind of have a hard time with her decisiveness around. And it hasn't fully stopped her from growing, right? She's still been able to grow, but it's been something that has been a consistent roadblock that has been able to hold her back from growing faster. And I see this with a huge amount of coaches. A huge amount of coaches are stuck in this kind of circle or this zigzag motion of either jumping over here and jumping over here and jumping over here on different things, or sometimes just being faced with decisions and not really knowing how to make them. Anyway, I just had her on a call, and I called this out because we were kind of for the final time now, we were kind of going over some things that we've gone over quite a lot. And I said, what is your big goal here? Like, what's the thing that you're really, really working towards here? And she said that she wasn't really sure. Like the general goal for her was to grow her business, right? The general goal for her was to move forwards with the business and kind of make more sales than she made last month, and continue that going and slowly but surely make more money. And I said, that's the problem. You haven't got a huge goal. And when you haven't got a huge goal, not you're at 8K and you want to make 10K, but maybe you're at 8K and you want to be at 30 or 50K in a year's time. When you haven't got a goal like this, you can get away with indecisiveness. And when you're faced with these decisions, you haven't actually got anything to make decisions around, right? If it's just kind of grow the business, that's the soft goal that we've got. Every single time that we're faced with a new opportunity or a new option that we need to decide around, we're not actually basing the decision on anything, right? We haven't got anything to base the decision on. Instead, we're just kind of sitting there thinking, what feels right now, which is not how we want to be making decisions. And that's where she had been stuck. And that's where a huge amount of coaches that aren't moving forwards or aren't moving forwards as fast as they would like are also stuck. They're not 100% clear on what they're trying to do here, where they're trying to go, and what that goal is, and the time frame in which they're trying to actually achieve it. So every single option that they come across, every single decision that they can make takes them a huge amount of time, because they could just kind of deciding on what feels right now instead of what actually is the best decision for where I'm trying to go. And here's a saying, right? This is going to hit you in the brain. Without a clear vision, every distraction looks like an opportunity. This is where, what's it called? What's that thing called when you're jumping from thing to thing? This is where that thing comes from. What's it called? Shiny object syndrome. This is where shiny object syndrome comes from, right? When we're not at 100% clear on what we're trying to build here, and we're just kind of trying to grow, we are always going to be pulled left and right by all of these distractions, because the reality is all of these different things do work in the way of making a couple more sales and everything else, but they may not work towards getting you to the exact vision that you're trying to get. So we had this conversation, me and my client, and she said, well, the problem is, she was doing 9K months. She's like, she's making comfortable money. Like, she's making good money. She's making more money than she needs. And she wasn't really that excited by making a huge amount more. And I said, you're looking at the goal like it needs to be, like it's just for its own sake of having a goal. You need to look at your goal as a tool. The goal is a tool to make your decisions around. So once that tool is in place, every single decision, every single behavior, every single action from that point forwards now has a clear place where it's looking. Because really, anything that we're doing in business, we're creating systems and processes, whether it's a system that works on its own or it's a process that you do every day. We're creating systems and processes, and we can't create systems and processes without a very clear goal that we're actually optimizing for. The second part is the time, because she did have a goal, and it was when she became a certain age, and that certain age was a round number, right? So when she got to whatever number ended with 0 for her next, there was a rough goal, and it was years away. And I said, time is also a tool. Just as much as that goal is a tool, time is also a tool. When we can take that goal and we can give yourself an aggressive time scale that we need to hit it in, you will start to make decisions based on that right now. And here's the really cool thing that happens when we do this, right? So taking this all together, let's say you're watching this video right now and you decide, okay, I want to be making 50K a month in 12 months. And let's say that currently you're at 10. So in 12 months, you want to 5x your business. Here's the really cool thing that will happen. This is a whole new level of thinking now. And that's the reality for this stuff, right? If we're trying to get results that are otherworldly compared to where we have been before, it does require a whole nother level of thinking. And it's a whole nother level of growth. So now that we're thinking this way, you will now look at everything you're currently doing, the whole system that you've created, the whole system that's in place to be able to get you there. And you will ask yourself, is this the thing that can take me to 50K? Now, of course, it might change a little bit as you go. The first 6 months might look like this, and then the second 6 months, you might create a little bit more capacity for yourself with some certain thing and be able to get you there. You can map out the whole journey, right? But you can look and you can think, is this the thing that will take me to 50K? And so often, you will be doing things that are designed to get you from 10K to 12K that will never be able to actually be able to get you to the big goal and the big number that we're really trying to get to, right? So often when we have these small goals, these small incremental goals that never really excite us much anyway, what we end up doing is we end up optimizing systems that shouldn't even exist in the first place, right? Because if you're going from 10 to 12K, you can pretty much do that with just doing more of the thing, but it's not the same systems that are going to be able to get you to that 50K number. So understanding, first of all, that big goal that you can actually commit to, and you can look at what's happening now and what you've built in the past and ask yourself, does this serve me still? Or does this need to be killed? You can look at where all your clients are coming from and ask yourself, does this serve me, or which one should I lean into more to simplify this system so I can move forwards faster? You can start to find what needs to be killed, what needs to be eliminated, and what needs to be built to be able to get you there. The second tool is the time. Then when we put the time in, we're like, okay, well, what if I needed to do this in 12 months? That's the thing that starts to get you into action and moving quicker. And understanding that this big goal is a tool. Even if you get to 40 instead, you're not going to be upset about that, because it's got you thinking on this higher level and it's got you operating in this different way. And the final thing I'll say about this is we want that to happen, right? We want our behaviors and even our identity and the way that we're thinking, feeling, and operating right now to be based on the future that we want and not the past that we've experienced and the present that we're in. So having a very, very big goal to be able to optimize around, make decisions around, is one of the most transformational things we can do. So just thought I'd jump on here before I have a little bit of a break and chill for a bit, because I've just been on Zoom for ages. But take heed of that, right? Are you just slowly kind of moving along and your big goal right now in business is just make a couple more sales and try and beat last month? Or have you got a big goal that really, really excites you and forces you to think on a whole different level and forces you to look at your business on a whole different level? Because when you start to do that, you will start to now see the solutions and the eliminations that need to be made to actually get you there.